I'm Dr. Lara, and welcome to another week of Channeled Angel Messages. Before I get started, I want to thank Terry and Lynn. Thank you so much for your financial contribution. Your energy and your contribution means the world to me. It really, really does, and it helps me to continue to do these videos. So thank you so much. Okay, so let's get started for another week of Channeled Angel Messages. Okay, so I'm seeing like underground, and underground it's like it's dark and it's muddy, and I see roots, and then above ground it's just kind of nothing is there yet. And so what they're telling me is that this week, if you're not feeling it already, or maybe you've moved past it, but for the bulk of humanity, we're really having to like dig deep into who and what we are. And they talk about like the ascension and all these people making it onto the next frequency or whatever. That's just a consciousness, which they want to remind us, but a way that you can move out of, and they're putting this in quotes, the 3D consciousness, is to really take a look within you. And they're telling me that this is happening whether you want it to or not, whether you like it to or not. So it might behoove you to be open to looking within, because and now they're showing me like things breaking down like outside of you, like maybe something's breaking in your house, or your car breaks down, or like physical things breaking. And our outer environment is a manifestation from our inner environment, especially where we live. So if things are breaking down around you, or like the sinks are being clogged, or the toilet is clogged, like that is an indicator of what's going on within you. Okay, so let's say the sinks are clogged. You've got some emotion that needs to come out that you are holding on to, and it's like it's clogging your energy. It's clogging the flow of good in your life. Or if things are breaking down, there's things in your life, like internally, that need to get cracked open, that need to be broken down. And they want to reassure us that breaking down, it's not a bad thing. So many people think that breaking down is a bad thing because it's uncomfortable, right? And humans don't like to be uncomfortable. But the good news about it is that when you break down something, it falls away eventually. So what's happening is like the things that are not working in our life, that we are so desperately clinging on to, relationships, a job that's going nowhere, bad habits, like that's all going to get broken down eventually. Because if you want to, they put it in quotes, move up into like a different frequency, or the 5D as humans like to call it, you cannot hold on or be in that frequency of where you're at, with holding on to resentment and anger and toxicity, and being treated horribly, or treating somebody horribly, or being at a career that is sucking the life out of you, not tapping into your creativity or your knowledge. Like that is a thing of the past, is what they're showing me. And the more that you're able to surrender to the process, meaning the more you're able to feel what it is you don't want to feel, and look at your part in things, and look at what's going on in your life, and understanding that life happens through you, not to you. So everything that's in your life is a result of the decisions that you have made. So they're saying the more you take responsibility for your life and what's happening in it now, the more empowered you're going to feel to make different choices to create a different outcome. And they're showing me like, well, once you're able to do this, we're doing it anyway, but if you do it willingly, you're going to get through it a lot faster and a lot less painful. But when you do that, it's like a new, like a new beginning, a rebirth. And this month, like, things are getting pulled up and exposed, and on the macro level, what's happening in the world, but also within us. We are all connected. We are not separate. And everybody is going through this. So, and they really want to reiterate that, because sometimes when we go through things like this, we feel like we're alone, and you're not. There are pretty much everybody's going through this right now. So just, and they're showing me like rapids. They are rapids, and that's what we're in right now. That's what we're in. So the more you surrender to it and take responsibility for your belief structures, your perceptions on things, and what you're choosing to focus on, the more that you take responsibility for that, the more you'll be able to move through into a better way of being. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Okay, so this kind of like tails on to what we just talked about, but they're pointing the finger, not to like do this, but they're just saying that because there's somebody specific that needs to hear this message, and they're just saying it's time to move on. Whether it's time to move on from a toxic relationship, or it's time to put that career thing down that's sucking the life out of you, or it's time to move on from being afraid. Ooh, that's a big one. Okay, so whatever it is that you want to do with your life, it's time to move on from the story of allowing fear to stop you. So fear is just energy running through your ego. It doesn't mean that it's real. It doesn't mean that it's true. It's just the ego's job is to keep you safe. And anytime that we want to branch out and move out into something different, we get afraid. So, and that's normal. They want to let you know that that is normal. But what's happening is a lot of people are allowing this fear to stop them. So if you can, take time to ask what this fear is and to face it, then you can move through it. But as long as you allow the fear to run your life, it's like there's going to be a pipe dream. You're not going to be able to move forward into what it is you want to do. So they're just saying it's time to move on. There really isn't a lot to fear about you fulfilling your purpose and you getting yourself out there. Okay, there's going to be things that might happen, like people might not resonate with what you do, and not everybody is, but it's okay. Once you make that leap of faith to like move on, okay, that's what it is. You need to take a leap of faith that you're going to be okay. All right, so it's like making that jump, and there's going to be a net that's going to hold you or catch you, or you're going to have wings and you're going to fly. Okay, and it might be a little bit of both, but just understand that you're here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. And they're showing me like fertile soil. Okay, and it's time. Like whatever seeds you plant, like it's going to manifest. So yeah, and they're just saying you can do it. You can do it. You are stronger than you think you are. You're more talented than you think you are. The talents that you have, people are going to need them. Not everybody in the whole world is, but there are people that are going to benefit from what it is you have to offer. And the more that we can all do that, the more that we're going to be able to shift the consciousness and the energy of the planet. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, so they're showing me like a circle, like there's like death and rebirth, death and rebirth, death and rebirth. And we're going to be experiencing a lot of like ego deaths and things in our lives that are going to be going away. And then there are new things that are going to come in. Okay, and the new things that are going to come in, it's good because life is always teaching us or showing us or guiding us towards our highest good. So even though change is scary, we don't like change, it's uncomfortable, okay? Oftentimes when we make a change in something, we immediately regret it, right? Because we move out of our comfort zone and everything is new and it's uncomfortable and we want to go back to the way things were, but we can't. And just know that that's like a normal time of growth, and they're showing me like you're on the diving board and you jump into the water, and what happens when you jump into the water? You go down and you're underneath the water and you're holding your breath, you're disoriented, you don't know where things are, you're trying to come up to the surface, and it's uncomfortable and it can be scary, okay? And that's what happens when you move into something new. You don't have the world under your feet. Like you don't have your bearings, you don't know what's up. You have to learn things, okay? And it's uncomfortable, but eventually you come up to the surface. Okay, and then you learn how to swim, and then maybe you find a raft, or maybe you find a yacht, or maybe you find an island, whatever it is. But you're not going to get anywhere until you take that leap of faith, until you make that jump. Okay, so it's about being comfortable with the uncomfortable and knowing that this too shall pass. Nothing ever stays the same. The only thing consistent is change. So the more that we can move through those changes and surrender to what is, don't make it wrong. Don't make ourselves wrong for having the emotions that we're having. Don't make ourselves wrong for being where we're at, because we're exactly where we need to be. The more that you can surrender and accept that situation, then you can move on. But the more we resist something, we stay in that spot and we actually keep things from coming to us. So surrender, accept, and be able to feel what your emotions are, work through your stuff, and you're going to be able to come into a more peaceful existence. A lot of you are already there, or you're experiencing moments, but just remember, there is no destination, okay? It's not like we're going to get through this and then we're going to be happy all the time. Oh, God, wouldn't that be nice? But we aren't, okay? And the reason why is because our soul is constantly growing. Okay, we are constantly growing. We're constantly jumping off of that diving board. We're constantly pushing ourselves into something new. And with that is the uncomfortableness, is the unknowing. But once you understand that, then you can move through that unknowingness a little bit easier, and it's not going to stop you because you're not going to be afraid. You're going to understand. It's like, oh, okay, this is another growth spurt. Oh, yeah, it's not very comfortable. Okay, what is it that I need to learn? Okay, so just understand that there is no destination, but as you move forward, that joy, that inner peace becomes stronger, and you have longer moments of feeling that. Okay, and when you have those longer moments of feeling that, when you do feel the anger or the frustration, it's okay that you do, because you know that it's going to pass. You are not going to stay there. Okay, emotions go up and down. We go up and down. Our energy goes up and down. We're always growing. We're always changing. Go with the flow. Okay, so those were the messages. Thank you so much for being here. If you feel called to do a session with me, one thing that we do in these sessions are we help you get clarity on your life. So if you have something that has been bothering you for a while, or you know that there's like something that you've been holding on to, you just can't get rid of, the angels work through me and we help you move through that, whether it's a past life issue or generational trauma, whatever it is. That's what I do in these sessions with the angels' help. So if you feel called to do that, I would really feel very grateful and honored to be part of your journey. You can go to drlararomero.com and you can sign up if you feel called. So thank you so much for being here. Have a blessed day.